I welcome you to the 40th meeting of Toastmasters. I request you all to stand for the club's mission statement. The club's mission to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in each members and forward to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Please be seated. Some hygiene instructions for the meeting today. Please put your phones on silent. I will give you 30 seconds to keep your phones on silent. Please do not disturb the speaker while talking while a speech is in progress. Do not move in or out in the meeting room while a speech is in progress. If you want to move out, then please do so when a speech is over. If you are outside, then enter the room only when you hear a round of applause. Drinking water and washrooms are outside. Gents' washroom is to the left and ladies' washroom is to the right. Thank you. I now invite President of the club to officially open the meeting. Toastmaster meeting.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm the president of Toastmasters Club, and I open 340th meeting. Before we start, I see a lot of guests and tiny guests here today. We can start with a quick round of introduction. Your name? How did you come to know about us?
I am Vanessa and he told me what is the business.
Welcome.
My name is Vaika and I got to know about this club through Vanessa's dad.
Welcome. We have Toastmaster Suni, who's already been a member of our Toastmasters. Yeah.
Actually, came to know from all.
Welcome. Yes. Hi. What's your name? Yeah. Hi. Welcome.
Yes, I came to know about Toastmasters 2 years with my other friends. Now I came to Sony. We are working together and Hi everyone, I'm Robin. I joined because this club and this is my second session.
Before I start with today's PO address, I thought I'll do something different. Toastmaster Libby, we can have that video.
Why did you join in the first place? What do you want from your life? I think we forget the breakthroughs that we had because we've been a member of Toastmasters for years. And we're going to look back and realize maybe there's some more breakthroughs in the future. This is the place where you unlock your potential through potential.
Toastmasters gives you an opportunity to stay sharp. You don't lose your edge.
Because you got to support people Toastmasters after I gave just a small amount of courage to do public speaking. But I get to see that there are a lot of things that we can learn from Toastmasters. That's why I say
It's not a one-and-done thing. It's a journey. We're not here for a sprint. It's a marathon. So I say, let Toastmasters pass through you. Don't just allow yourself to pass through Toastmasters.
the reason you should continue in Toastmasters is because you are worth the investment. It is a small amount of money.
And spend that on things that are not going to enrich your life as much as Toastmasters will.
Show up, keep showing up, and you will never, ever, ever lose.
I hope with this you got where I'm going with. Yes, as you all know, we are at the fag end of the renewal cycle. Our renewal cycles are from April to September, so we are close to March end. So all those who haven't renewed, please do renew today, tomorrow itself. For me, I would want to add to that video is that all those people who know me know that I'm very competitive by nature. And Toastmasters as a platform has given me that place to be in a healthy competition where each one of us has something new to learn from the competition itself. That is my why of why I renew every cycle. And what I want to say is not just about coming here and talking and giving a speech on this stage, because Toastmasters is a platform which is beyond that. I can give you so many examples from our club itself. You must all be knowing DTM Vinay. He's been a Toastmaster for so many years. He's been the PQD, that is Program Quality Director for District 98. We have our past Division Director, Toastmaster Sanish. He's been the Division Director for M. We have our current Division Director, Toastmaster Anand, who's also from our club. We all know Toastmaster Libby. She is the convener for Eloquence. And not just that, she's also been the podcast manager for the current year. So it's not just about coming and giving speeches. Toastmaster Vidya, she has performed at the division level, her dance program. I think her dance is always the start of any division conference. That's why she is now the entertainment chair for Eloquence. Who else? Toastmaster Ron has been with us for so many years, as 11 years of Toastmasters, and now he's the PR chair for Eloquence. So just that is, you have a plethora of people around us just encouraging us on a daily basis. So you just need to find your why of why you need to renew. And why you find that why, I would say that do it fast because it's tomorrow, 31st March. Find the why tonight itself. With that, I would like to proceed with the meeting. I want to call upon someone really special. This person has not just been an inspiration in our club. He is a mentor of another club. He's been supporting another club. He is a scientist by profession, a PhD by quality. Is it mentor or coach? Oh, sorry, coach. He is a PhD by qualification and a marathon runner by passion. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Dheeraj.
Officer for the warm introduction. It's really my pleasure to serve as a team on for place meeting. So good evening all of you.
Good evening.
Have you ever wondered that what exactly is the purpose of life? Why are we born? What are the things we are destined to do? Can anyone tell me that what is the purpose according to you? Purpose of life? Anyone from this side? Yeah.
Purpose of life is a life of purpose.
Okay.
Oh.
So for some people, the purpose of life is to have a $1 billion business or have a big company. For some people, the purpose of life is to be in a perfect relationship. For some people, the purpose of life is to serve the society. And for some people, the purpose of life is to attain spiritual enlightenment. Now, if you closely look into all these sets of people, you realize the basic purpose of life is to be happy. Yeah, you hear it right. The basic purpose of life is to be happy. How? The person who is looking for a $1 billion business actually feels that much amount of money will bring the happiness to his life. The person seeking perfect relationship feels that relationship will bring the happiness. The person who wishes to serve the society feels his or her act will bring the happiness to his life. And lastly, the person seeking spiritual enlightenment, he feels that he will have a happy and peaceful life after attaining the enlightenment. Now, this happiness is a subjective thing. What makes me happy not necessarily will make you happy, and vice versa. But there are few things which are extremely essential to have a happy and fulfilling life. And today's meeting, I will be sharing you the 5 most essential things that is needed to have a happy and fulfilling life. So the first thing is, in Sanskrit it is said, Pratham Sukh Nirogi Kaya. It means the first and the foremost source of happiness is to have a fit body. Can any one of you tell me that what are the different forms of fitness that an individual should have? Anyone? Physical, mental, and emotional. Yes. There are basically 4 forms of fitness: physical fitness, mental fitness, spiritual fitness, and emotional fitness. Let's start with the emotional fitness. Now, I give you a task to evaluate yourself. Are you a person who becomes emotional too quickly? Means you becomes overexcited with small achievement, or you becomes anxious or nervous with small setbacks. If you are a that person, then you are not emotionally fit. So what defines an emotionally fit person? So how many of you have seen the Ramayana or heard the Ramayana? Yeah, many people. So in Ramayana, there was an instant when Ram was asked to lift the bow and sting it. It was the time of Sita marriage that the prospective groom has to lift the bow and sting it. So when Ram's turn came, when his guru asked him to Ram, it's not your turn, go and lift the bow. So at that time, Ramcharitmanas reads, Na harsh na vishal. It means neither he was overexcited thinking, I am the God, I will be able to do it. Nor he was nervous thinking, I am the God, if I am not able to do it, what? Everyone will laugh at me, everyone will mock at me. So this defines the perfect epitome of emotional fitness. Similarly, mental fitness is needed to have to handle the stress in your family and personal life. If you are a mentally fit person, no one will ever able to manipulate you. You will remain filled with your mindset, with your thoughts. Physical fitness is needed to enjoy all the worldly pleasures. If you want to enjoy different foods, different climate, or like you want to have operate at your optimum energy levels, then you need to have a physical fitness. Similarly, spiritual fitness is needed to have a rational thinking to keep your sanity intact. So this was the first thing that is extremely essential to have a happy and fulfilling life, that is to have a fit body. Can anyone tell me what is the next thing, second thing that is important after fitness?
Finance, relationships.
But actually money. Roti, kapda, and makan. All the basic things you need money. To support your loved one, your family, your friends, you need money. The quality of life you live depends mainly on the income you have. So once you attain the fitness, next thing should be to earn more money, to figure out what are the other sources of income. So what can we do for earning the money? My only suggestion is that you stay conscious. How consciousness help us to build more money? Now, how many of you have seen a lot of construction activity going around in Mumbai or in Navi Mumbai or India as a whole? A lot, everyone will agree. So if you would have invested in the SBI infrastructure mutual fund, you would have got a 70% return, 10 times more than the return which you get from fixed deposit. I gave you my own example. Last year, I visited Grand Central Mall. There, I found one fan. When I asked the shopkeeper that what this fan is all about, he told me, sir, this is a new type of fan, and it is a little bit technical. So he told me that, sir, this is a new type of fan. It works on a BLDC technology, brushless DC motor. And he told me that this BLDC motor has a lot of advantage. Like it is a high efficiency, precision control, its torque is maximum at our rotations, it generates less heat. So you can figure out that this fan will have applications, this motor basically will have application in space, nuclear sector, defense, your home appliances. Now this fan running is an AC motor. This is highly inefficient as compared to BLDC motor. Similarly, your air conditioner is having an AC motor, but BLDC motor is far better. So eventually everything will go into the BLDC motor and it will overshadow you. So if you are directly or indirectly associated with BLDC motor, you will get a huge return on investment. So on that day, I returned back, and next day I visited the office. So there was a vendor who used to manufacture magnets. So I asked that vendor, why don't you manufacture magnets for BLDC motor? Because BLDC motor for its operation needs magnets. So he agreed and he started manufacturing magnet. And in 1 year, or I can say 8 to 9 months, his turnover increased from 4 crore per annum to 40 crore per annum, roughly. So if you are conscious of what is happening around you, you will be able to build good amount of money, not become billionaire, but at least better than the average person. So and then it is also saying that na baap bada na bhaiya. So with this, I will move to the agenda of today's meeting. So Toastmasters meeting in general is divided into three parts. The first is a prepared speech session. In prepared speech session, the speakers come prepared based on the topics and the pathway project they have chosen. The next is a table topic session. Table topic session is basically an impromptu speech session where a table topic master gives you a topic and you have to speak for few minutes. Today we don't have a table topic session, and instead of that we have an educational session by our experienced Toastmaster. This is a part of better speaking skills, and here you will learn how to overcome the nervousness, how to be pro in impromptu speaking. The last segment of any Toastmaster meeting is an evaluation session, wherein the general evaluator who leads it, along with his teams of evaluators and role players, give feedback for overall growth of club as well as individuals. With this, I will invite the tag team, and I request the timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Raga, to come on the stage. Master Raga, before you brief the audience about your role play, I have one question from you also. That what, according to you, is the purpose of life?
I think it's happiness, finding and to overcome your fears and challenges. It is difficult in your life to overcome those stuff. Because overcoming difficulties in life gives you happiness. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day. I am Toastmaster Raghav, and I am the timer. Being a timer, my duty is to time the prepared speeches, the evaluation speeches, as the table topics. For prepared speeches, depending on the project, there are different time limits for different projects, which the evaluator will specify. For example, for icebreaker speech, the time is 4 to 6 minutes. For table topics, time range is 1 to 2 minutes, and for evaluations, it is 2 to 3 minutes. All speakers must adhere to this time limit so that they are qualified for the award that is going to be presented right in the meeting. So I'll display the green card at the time of the minimum time limit, and the yellow card when we reach the mid of the time range, and the red card when the maximum time limit is reached till the end of your speech. There is a 30-second grace time for for minimum, before the minimum and after the max. Yeah, I'll report the time taken by the speakers as and when it is asked for. What do you?
Timer for giving the timing. Keeping for the timing good. And now I request the founder, Toastmaster Srikanth, to come on the stage. To brief about your role play, I have the same question from what, according to you, is the purpose of life? Give your response in 1 or 2 lines and don't say happy.
You have to figure out really quick.
Able to watch that. So, Ron, good evening. I'm Srikanth. I'm the founder of today. The purpose of life for me is to excel at everything that I'm doing. So that could be in personal life, work, relationships, emotional connect with the other folks, the spiritual, the aspects that you mentioned, and just be better at everything that I'm doing day by day. Today, as our founder, my role is to listen into everyone who can come class attentively and intently, and make a count of the clutch words like or the filler words like but, likes, okay, filler phrases like and so, etc. And any long pauses if there are any. When called upon, I will present my report cards on the errors the speakers would have made. Okay, over to you, Toastmasters.
Now I request the grammarian, Toastmaster Dharmesh, to come on the stage. You have a question. what according to you is the role of fitness for happiness in the life?
Role of fitness in happiness. Okay. So if you are fit, then you feel happy because when you are physically fit, you are able to do things, many things, which makes you happy. Like for example, if you are fat, you are constantly thinking about not eating something, then does that not make you happy? So I think being fit makes you happy. And today, hello everyone, today I will be playing the role of a grammarian. I will be listening to each and every speaker very carefully, and I will be noting down all the good words and codes that you say, and also be noting down all the incorrect uses of grammar, and I will be presenting the report at the end of the meeting when called upon by the grammar GE. I will also introduce you the word of the day and the phrase of the day. The word of the day is pursuit, which means the act of doing something to get something. Like for example, many of our Toastmaster members attend the meeting, even though they did not take a role in pursuit of happiness. The word of the phrase of the day is out of the blue. That means any issue or anything that happens unexpectedly. So the example is that one day my friend came to me and out of the blue he said that he was getting divorced. So I would request all of you to use the word of the day and the phrase of the day, and I will encourage that whenever anybody uses the word of the day or the phrase of the day, to show a thumbs up to encourage the person.
Now today we have a mini educational session on the role of grammarian, how to effectively use the grammar and delivering the speech, and how to effectively perform the role as a grammarian. And for that we have experienced Toastmaster Navi. I request her to come on the stage. Meenakshi, for you, I have two questions.
What if I have to say happy?
Okay, so I will change the question for you. That how money contributes to the happiness in life? What is the role of?
No, I would have preferred the.
What is the role of money?
I think when you're financially secure, you can think about other things. You all must have studied that Maslow's theory of hierarchy, which says that basic needs and then it comes to the aspirational needs. So once your basic needs are done, only then you can start thinking about aspirational and self-actualization goals. So I guess money will help to do those basic needs, and that's why it's important. Okay, the role of a grammarian. How many of you have, for the first time ever, thought about, oh my god, I'm going to take the role of a grammarian? More. So my first pointer today as part of this mini education session is to not have this apprehension of taking up the role. So many of us think that, oh, my grammar is not all that good, or maybe I'm not from an English background, my English is not all that good, then how can I take the role of a grammarian? So if you have these thoughts, I would suggest just leave it outside at the doorstep and then come here and take the role as it is, as your English is or as your background might be. So that is my first tip as a grammarian. For the role of a grammarian is not have any apprehension about taking the role. Like I always say, Toastmasters is the platform to come and make mistakes, and the role of grammarian also is part of that. You can come, make your mistake. After all, there's a Google to find the meaning of the word, if at all you need to. That's it. That's the first tip. The second, I have like 4 broad tips today. The second is when it comes to the script. Go through the script very well, but add your own pointers to it. Add your own creativity to the script. Don't just come and read the script per se. So I have to give one example. Toastmaster Libby, when you had taken up the role of a grammarian, you had given a comparison of dating site versus grammar. Yes. And after so many years, I still remember it. That itself means that it has left a mark. It was quite creative. So whatever it be, just come and add your own creative flavor to that script, not just reading the script. Then the third would be word of the day and phrase of the day. So as a grammarian, you all know that the responsibility of choosing the word of the day and phrase of the day comes to you. When you're called upon, you have to come here and give the usage of the meaning, where it came from, and usage of the word of the day. So if for selecting the word of the day and phrase of the day, keep it quite simple. Don't try to show off by using very hi-fi words. You can try to match it with the theme of the day. Even if it's not, it's okay. I still remember I was part of one of the online clubs in one of the meetings. The word of the day chosen was constipation. Yes.
Not to be confused with constipation.
You Google it later. Yeah. So that was the word of the day. And at the end of when the GE called upon the grammarian to read his report, he came and very nicely said that, oh, I'm very disappointed that nobody used the word of the day. So how do you expect this word to be used in a Toastmasters parlance? So think of it such that you want more and more people to use the word rather than it being a challenge for the other person to use the word. Then another tip on this is that there are a lot of clubs which follow this technique of having a tip of the day, a grammar tip. So, for example, the use of articles, AEI, whatever, and anything it could be, any one tip on either a past tense, present tense, anything it could be. If we have the time, if you are able to fit it in the time as per allotted to you as per the agenda, then I would say go for it. Even while describing the word of the day, there are a lot of people who come up with a lot of creativity, like going into the Greek or the Latin usage of where it came from. It's called etymology, that is the root of where the word came from. You can go for that as well. This was the third point on the word of the day. And lastly, when you're called upon by the GE to read the report, there make sure that you give the names of who all have used the word of the day and phrase of the day, and and also use the names of where when you're talking about good usage of grammar, that this person has used this so and so phrase, which was a good usage. Avoid taking names when you are going to say about the not so good usage, because you don't want to pinpoint on the person that this person has not used it in the right context. So that it's just a way of motivating people, because the person who has used it knows that he has used it incorrectly. It's just you don't want to tell it out loud. Just when you're saying not so good usage, also say what it should have been instead of that. And when we talk about who has used the word of the day and phrase of the day, as a grammarian, there's always a lot of pressure that I need to actively listen and note down and very specifically say that this person has used. I have an extra tip that if the word of the day or the phrase of the day has not been used in the right context, you can point it out, saying that it was not used in the right context. Instead, it should be this. So don't just blindly say that, okay, this person has used it. You can also say that it was not in the right context. Instead, it should have been this. So that's it. These were my 4 tips. And
Thank you, Dr. Meenakshi, for the insightful tips on how to be an effective grammarian. I hope that the next time many of the audience will take up the role of grammarian. Now she has given so many tips. I thought I should also give the tip on how to be fit in our emotional, spiritual, mental fitness. So that one thing that we should be all for 20 minutes. When I say that, no, it's there will be a science behind it. Like when you are doing intense cardio, be it swimming, be it running, when your heartbeat goes beyond 140 beats per minute, there are chemical changes. The body releases hormone which makes you mentally tougher, emotionally stronger, and obviously physically fit. And if you do it continuously for 1 year, there will be a dramatic change in the personality you develop, a positive personality and influential personality. And once you have done the intense cardio for 20 minutes, your energy levels are down, your mind is relatively stable. Do a 5 minutes of meditation. And the third point is that develop a positive outlook towards the life. So if you want to achieve all the 4 forms of fitness, these are the 3 tips for me. Thank you. Now we will move to the prepare speech session. And for that, I request the evaluator 1, Toastmaster Rashmi, to come on the stage. Yes. So we read out the objective of the first speaker. I have one question for you. What, according to you, is the purpose of life?
So it is to be better in from where I started in whatever phase. So there are different phases of life. So if I am in that phase where I'm working career-wise, my purpose of life currently is to be better at work. Good evening, everyone, and a warm good evening to Toastmaster Divya. My target speaker today is attempting her first speech for the club. It is the icebreaker speech. The purpose of this speech is to introduce herself to the club and also learn the basics of public speaking. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Now I request the speaker one to come on the stage. So I have the same question for you. What according to you is the purpose of having one life? Just
I'm yet to figure out the purpose of my No, honestly.
okay, Toastmaster, if you have baby step into catching up with the bird, baby step into catching up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Divya, and I'm an ardent chess player, animal lover, and a one who craves for adventures in the nature like trekking, hiking, and bike rides. Being a single child with working parents, old grandparents, and no kids in the society to play with, I got pretty bored playing free cell and solitaire all the time on my computer. So one day I decided to explore the game of chess, which was pre-installed on my computer back then. No one in my family used to play chess. So eventually I got pretty good at it and I started winning in the inter-school chess tournament. But as I grew older, chess took a backseat and I switched my focus from chess to the national sport of our nation. No, it's not what you're thinking, it's the education rat race. But however, I continued to solve tactics online, read books on chess written by grandmasters, and improve my game. And finally, I could find myself a coach in the year 2022 who would accept an adult as a student. And I look forward to becoming a federated player someday. And coming on to the loving animals part, we rescued 3 cats during the July 2019 floods, and they are our pets now. So I have 2 ginger boys and 1 calico kitty. Their names are Simba, Biscuit, and Nayantara. And now I see 2 more stray cats, and I'm naming them Banshee and Fancy. So now getting back to the adventurous part which I mentioned, I think I crave for adventure so much that I kind of manifested an adventurous life altogether for myself. I would rather call it a disastrous decade. It broke me in and out, but it also tried to teach me valuable lessons like to take a pause, breathe, to appreciate little things in life, to not run behind perfection in all walks of my life. Imperfection is the beauty of essence and beauty of life. But I'm a Virgo, the perfectionist of all the zodiac signs, and this trait in me is very difficult to be tamed. I used to get irritated very easily if I would underperform or if things didn't go as per my plan. But life was also pretty tough at me. So in between the 10 to 15 years of life punching me left, right, and center, I started kind of losing my self-confidence very badly. Let's keep the sad stories aside and get to the fun part. It was during the initial phases of this disastrous decade, my cousin introduced me to trekking when I had recently lost my dad to cancer, just to take my mind off of the continuous pouring in of all the condolences. The first trekking experience was so soothing and so beautiful, and that it was the best experience I had, and it gave a kind of a healing feeling to me.
So I was lucky enough to get friends and colleagues who had similar interests, and I was able to be part of different trekking groups. And I covered different treks like Lohagarh, Pet, Kothaligarh, Rajmachi, Mahuli, to name a few. The best part of the trekking was, apart from the picturesque mountains and mesmerizing view at the top, used to be when I would get down and my fellow trekkers would confess that they really didn't think I would be able to make it to the top, considering my fragile build back then. Well, I'm still lean, but I'm strong, and it's so much fun to prove people wrong. So moving on. So in the middle part of this disastrous decade, my other cousin introduced me to biking trips. So my first biking trip was from Bangalore to Ooty, and then we covered different places around Karnataka, from Mangalore to Udupi, Chikmagalur. I didn't see a chance to trek the Kyathanamakki hills there. And my recent biking trip was at Dehradun, covering the beautiful Tehri region, nearby places like Chakrata, Koti Kanasar, Masuri, Auli, Landor, and Rishikesh. So these trek, biking trips, and chess are, escape points, temporary escape points, but life in the routine is tough. So I started taking baby steps into what felt like long lost while I struggled to put myself together and to be sane when life was literally punching me left, right, and center. It was the COVID lockdown that opened my eyes. People across the globe were trying to cope up with life. The lockdown brought in some cognizance in me, and it was an alarming wake-up call to not get trapped in the dogma that the bruises of life had brewed for me. So I put myself together. I picked myself up step by step, taking one aspect of life at a time, healed it, and then let it be. So it took me a few years to put myself together. And here I am at Toastmasters to tick off the bucket list goal of getting rid of the fear of public speaking, improving my interpersonal skills, networking with different people, and I'm looking forward to better prepared speeches, improved body language, and maybe confident eye contact. Yeah, so that's about it, and I would like to thank you all for helping me get to a bit closer to the better version of me. One meeting at a
Now we have 1 minute time for giving the feedback for the speaker. It was really an interesting speech by Master Divya, and you have proven with your speech that you are not a weaker, you are a stronger. And your line that proving the people wrong resonates with me. It's really a to prove people wrong that you can do it. Now I request Evaluator 5 Toastmaster Meenakshi to come on the stage and explain the objective of the evaluation of Evaluator 2. This time I will ask the question which you have prepared. Is the purpose of life?
I would say peace. Peace for me is the purpose of my life. It's like when you have all the other things, everything, the end goal is for you to achieve peace. So whatever you do, you want peace at the end of the day. So I am evaluator number 5. I will be evaluating the evaluation of Toastmasters only. Toastmaster Dhwani is attempting her first evaluation and she will be evaluating Toastmaster Gina's speech. So all the best for you.
I request Toastmaster Dhwani to come on the stage. Could you read out the speech of Deputy First Speaker too? In just one line, according to the purpose of life.
I haven't found any, but I'm taking life as it comes right now, so. Yeah. So my target speaker for today is Toastmaster Jidal, and she's following the pathway presentation mastery. She's attempting level 1, project 3, which has the purpose of using vocal variety and body language. So I wish you all the best. I'm very excited for the speech.
I request Toastmaster Jidal to come on the stage. I will have the same question. For happiness, no peace.
I think in that case, the purpose of life, if I rephrase it, the purpose of my life is to go back to being kind of person involved when God first sent me in factory setting. No other person, no fear, completely open.
Toastmaster Jidal, कोई है Toastmaster Jidal?
कोई है. So every night when we go to sleep, we have to first securely lock the doors shut before we can enjoy a good night's rest. But are we really? Because the doors, online work, via our phones, our laptops, our smart speakers, and so many other devices. So, if we really want to enjoy a lifetime guarantee of safety, in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to help you figure that one. Taku Nakate, who is the country head of Bank of America, she says that the digital economy is about 8% of India's GDP, and it's galloping towards its way to become 20% of our GDP by 2030. Then 8% going to 20%. And that's because all of us are shopping online, we're banking online, we're investing online, we're working online. And the cyber criminals have followed us online. The National Crime Records Bureau says that cybercrime went up by a huge 24% in the year 2022 over 21. That's statistics which are 2 years old. So you can only imagine the state of affairs now. And that's really why we need to be cyber safe. Here are 3 tricks that I can share that can help you build your safety. The first one, RBI has said it, Amitabh Bachchan has said it, I'm really not the first one telling you this. But keep our passwords safe and secret. That's extremely. The reason being that the maximum financial crimes happen because of password problems. It's extremely important that we keep our passwords secret. But how many of us have the same key for the cupboard, for the home, and for the car? Sounds like a really dumb test, right? But it's been noticed that a lot of people have the same password for their email account, their net banking, and their social media. That's called recycling passwords. That's a recipe for disaster. One password compromised and all the doors online open up. So the first tip, keep your password a secret and never reset. The second, how many of us would allow a stranger into our house? We wouldn't, right? But if we went back and looked at our friend list on social media, it's probably a host of people who we don't really know from the living world. Technically, we are all strangers.
The American comedian Jimmy Kimmel has advocated celebrating 17th November as National Unfriend Day. And there is a very good reason he's telling us to do. So let's not wait till 17th November. I would urge you to go home today and prune your friend list of all people whom you don't know from the real world. So that's the second. Friends in the real world are friends online. The third thing, and here we're talking about the word overshare, which the Chambers Dictionary had called out as the word of the year in 2014. 10 years hence, not much has changed. All of us share information without so much as realizing how much we're opening ourselves up to attack. So there's three kinds of information sharing, if I may. The first one, information that we should never share. That's stuff like our address, our phone numbers, personal identifying information like PAN card, Aadhaar number, and compromising pictures of ourselves or others. So that's information that we never share online, because no matter how much you trust someone, the internet is a place where once you put something on it, it's really hard to keep it up. So this is information that we never share online, no matter how much you trust the person. The second, information that we could share within a closed group. And when I say closed group, I mean family and friends in the real world, assuming we've taken care of the second. So information that we can share on a limited basis would be things like pictures of our family, our friends, information about events in the family, like maybe a wedding in the family, and upcoming vacation. Because a lot of us tend to put out messages about our vacation plans even before we've gone on vacation. And that's really an invitation to financial fraud and a lot of other online crime. So that's the second kind of information which we would share with limited audience. And thirdly, information that can be shared free, which is stuff like a book review, a song that you like, some celebrity quote that you like, and so on. So the three tips to summarize that would really help us be safe online. First, let's keep our passwords secret and not really recycle them. The second, let's make sure that the friends on our social media are actually friends from the real world. And the third, let's be discreet when we share information, because the fact is we can create our own safety. So I do hope that tonight, when you're all rest and call it a day, you're all going to feel a lot more safe and secure. Thank you.
Toastmaster dinner, that insightful speech. Now we have a 1 minute time for giving the feedback. In the meantime, I will be sharing you some interesting information. Even if you follow all the tips given by Toastmaster Gina, still your account is at stake. You know how? Can anybody tell me that how many bits our data is encrypted? Anyone having any idea? No. Our data is 132 bits encrypted. And the classical computer which we have right now takes years of time to break this 132 bits. But now suppose if any country develops a quantum computer, you know how much time the quantum computer will take to break this 132 bit encryption? Seconds of time. So that's why, how many of you visited the PSA website, Principal Scientific Advisors Office? That's the important thing. I am here and I am not giving you the right information. That will be an injustice. So realizing the importance of this thing, the quantum technology, the government has allocated 8,000 crore, and all the youngsters who wish that they can have a startup or something in that direction, they can apply, you can get the fund. Now, like why I am taking it very seriously, because now in 1990s, what was the hurdle in front of India? You know, satellite. The developed nation was having a satellite and they can peek into every activity we were doing. It was a major hurdle. Now, do you know what is the major hurdle? Major hurdle is this quantum computer and AI. If we do not develop it, it will be a challenge in front of our youngsters. Now, with this I request Toastmaster Praveen to come on the stage and give the objective of. Praveen, do you have a question? Not this one. Like for having happiness in the life, we need to overcome the setbacks. So what's up, how to overcome the setbacks in the
Yeah, the important part is we have to ensure that we don't be wrong. Right. So, Toastmaster here he is attempting. He is never able to direct one speech, and the objective of this project is to learn about the different types of communication that we use, and to identify his type. The purpose of his speech is to share with us how his style impacts himself and all those around him. So all the best, and over to you.
I request our Master Karan to come on the stage. For money to use the purpose of life, you can use happiness or peace.
My purpose of life in my personal is to at least do very one simple help. That's how you make it.
Thank you. Master Karan, oscillation.
What do you think of oscillation? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. That's how we think of oscillation, right? Whenever any thought comes into your mind, again you oscillate here and there. Today my talk is all about understanding my communication style, which is a very, very complex subject for me. The reason is why I don't have a perfect communication style. Then I thought I will get into this journey because I am in the sales profession. There are a lot of people who came advised me how to do this in a better way. The first and foremost example, how I get bogged down by this kind of communication style. 8th standard, my maths teacher, he's really like terror. When he comes to the office, classroom, he'll say that I want a pin drop silent in this class. No students should move. I get bogged down. And then every one of the students in the class will bring all the work and say that we say all. Then he thought, how my kind of work does this communication style work? Still looking there, talking in this language. People say, what? Then what should be better for me? Then comes my grandma came. Because I grown up a lot hearing her stories. The way she structured the story is imaginative in nature. We have a lot of grandchildren for her, so we all put that story. We imagine it's a kind of a submersive experience for us. The meta, the play of technology. That's all the imagination is. Can use that kind of thing. I used it. I tried that. My boss came and told me, no waiting around the world, no more stories, come up with straight. I said, fine. And observation, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, start. What did I do? Okay, let's me practice. Straight to the point. But this is the report. Sales will happen or not happen. Finish. 2 minutes. The meeting is for 30 minutes and just got over in 2 minutes. He said, both the time allocated is 30 minutes. You are supposed to give the proper reason why you have not done the numbers or why you are going to do the numbers. I said, last time you said no stories. This time I comment that direct answer, yes or no, and this is my number. And he said, this is not acceptable. Again, tick tock. What should I do? Then I started learning from some of my colleagues. One of my colleagues, who is my team, he always comes to me, Kalyan, there is a big problem. What is that? The transaction of USD 22596, our finance guys have converted into 82.566. What is wrong? No. On the day, the RBI has clearly mentioned that it should be 82.569. I need that conversion rate. It's a factor of 0.03. But in the important review meeting, it comes back and gives me this kind of analysis. Do I do this kind of analytical way of putting this all the numbers in the presentation and talking to my peers and also to the boss? Is it workable in all state of communication? The answer is yes or no, because in my view, so much of analytical, it's very much boring because people don't understand. Fortunately, I met a professor. He advised, Kalyan, I know your profession, you're in the sales and all those things. Better you do a consultative kind of approach because you need to do that. You need to do the software solution, how it's going to work in the market. Come out with some of the right set of proven points, which is always there with your case studies. Mix it with some of the keywords. I said, what is the keyword? He said, you go and watch some politicians. They will give you that. And the important point of watching this politician is, it's not about the keywords or they are good orators. They also think of the emotional side of it, which you're talking about, right? The emotional side of the entire audience. That's how it happens. I said, who should do the best? He said, you start with yes, Barack Obama. Yes, I said, okay. Then I went and watched his 2008 speech, his campaign about yes, we can, all these things we have done. And they came back to me. He said, have you watched local television? I said, no, who should be better? Watch better. Amazing, fantastic. He mixed his way of purpose along with certain set of poetry, and then he delivered with a lot of emotions. I said, it was very good, but in official way, so much of seriousness, does it make sense? And I'm not good at poems, so I can't communicate in poems. Then he said, the funny part, you watch Lalia. I watched Lalu Prasad Yadav also, his debate in parliament are fantastic. On a serious situation, he will change the entire dynamics with his bit. That's very good. Then he said, Kalyan, now we have the mix of all. Putting up the keywords, writing the context, right set of it, and then adding some amount of speech will give you a better style of communication. So you start building up. I thought, okay, I will deliver like a communication, official meeting. I started by your and there were some foreign delegates, counterparts in US. Then he said, what do you mean by or I said, brothers and sisters, then are you going to talk in the similar language or going to start with change the style? Because I need a translator to understand you. So I said, okay, I'll place it out in a very simple way, and then that guy who is sitting next to you, he will translate you step by step. Then he said, I think it is an official meeting, I'm not here for a political conference. So I said, fine. But my question to you, Toastmasters, because I'm also trying to understand, have you tried this kind of political kind of speech in your office, communication, in your area of communication? Any experience? Thank you for the answer. So broadly, when we go through that complete set of courses in our program, it's broadly divided into 4 different stages of communication. Simply call it as DR++. It is direct, initiative, analytical, and support. These are the 4 steps. That's how I understand this very interesting. So what is meant by direct? Is it the way of pushing the people, coming up straight to the point, and then high pitched voice, talking to them? Does it mean direct? The answer is no. It is communicating essence in a crisp and clear manner, talking to them and make them understand that. Then initiative, I have seen a lot of my colleagues whenever the new girl, new can come to my office, that initiative is getting practiced to me. So how to get my finance guy is the best guy who can talk to me about analytical, no offense to any serious and financial consultants here. I told my finance guy the more amount of drill down, right, which you guys have done. Even the Middle East oil makers never done. End of the day, two reports come to me, Kalyan, you and your team work cut down the cost. I said you can just put it in one way, cut down your cost because your team is worth money. That's every year report I used to get. Then supporting is something my HR does. Always, whenever there is a think of somebody jumping the ship, they are super supportive. After 6 months, I'm not out of the business stage. Sorry for my official commitments. So that's the reason I had a gap of 6 months. But I'm still in pursuit of understanding my communication skills, doing much better in this situation. Thank you, sir. We have 1 minute time to give feedback. Thanks for giving us about the communication. There are 2 C's which are extremely important in life. This is confidence and communication. He has briefed us about the different types of communication and how. Very useful investors. Now I request the electric board. Toastmaster Manish to come on the stage. So please, before you tell us about the objective of the speech, I have a question. Whenever I have heard Toastmasters speak, I have always been motivating. It's a very good motivator person. So I have a different topic for you. I have a question that what is the role of relationship in happiness? How relationship contributes to the happiness? How much time? 1 or 2 lines.
Role of relationship in happiness is very important, and the most important relationship is the one which we have with ourselves. If we have a very good relation with ourselves, we can stay alone, be happy. We can keep any person who are with us in our life also happy. The purpose of the target speaker is to demonstrate a basic understanding of using software technology or presentation to give or enhance her speech. Toastmaster Sakshi would be attempting level 3 from the pathway persuasive influence. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Now I will request our co-speaker, Toastmaster Sakshi, to come on the stage.
Thank you for asking this. My purpose is to experience life at its best.
Toastmaster Sakshi, sweet drinks, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Walt Disney once said that all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them.
Well, all of us try to pursue things, right? We have big dreams. And I would like to know how many of you have already pursued some of the dreams that you have thought. Just a raise of hands. Perfect. So we do feel that dreams do come true, right? Well, I would like to give you one example of how someone's dream really came. Well, now just imagine that you are this person. Now, this person, he stayed in Belgium in 1982, okay? And he was, now this person is August, okay? His name is August and he's a chemist. And he was trying to solve a very complicated problem. And that problem, the solving of that problem was actually a dream. And his dream was to solve the chemical structure of benzene. So while he was trying one day, he just got frustrated and then he went to sleep. So when he went to sleep, he saw those molecules in his dream. Then these molecules turned into snakes. Yes, and then one of the snakes turned around and bit its tail. And that's how the chemical formula for the actual chemical structure for benzene was discovered. Yes, the chemical structure of benzene was actually invented because of a dream. And that's why I've always felt that why dreams are so important. I'm not talking about aspirations. I'm talking about dreams that you get in mind. I'm talking about sweet dreams. Now, these dreams have been very important for me. And I'll tell you why. Because my dreams are very awkward and they're very scary. Let me tell you. Just a disclaimer. So in the last few months, I used to get very awkward dreams. But where I saw that I was traveling with my parents and I was attacked by zombies. Other set of dream was that I was trying to escape from a place. In one of the dreams, I actually killed someone just to save myself. And in one of the dreams, I actually had 5 bodies in my dream. And then I would think, why is this happening with me? And why me? So what I started to do was, I started telling these stories to my people, to my friends. My parents, I started reading Hanuman Chalisa. Then I actually tried. Second, they would say, Nazar utar. I did that as well. Have a calm sleep, so don't take or don't use any social media. I did that as well. But nothing worked. So I decided to go deep into this topic and to understand why is this happening. And that's when I realized our dreams make us feel in certain way. So how do your dreams make you feel? Well, my dreams make me feel very threatened and scared. So what are dreams? So dreams are just a series of pictures and thoughts that we see in our dreams. And on an average, we all see and get a dream for at least 2 hours every night. That also means we are dreaming for around 6 years in our entire lifetime. So you must think that dream must have a purpose, right? Otherwise, what's the point? So I decided, let's go much more deep. So these were the sleep stages. So first we get from wakeful stage to sleep stage. That's when we go to bed, take a deep breath. Then when we go much more deeper, when our breath slows down and when our body's temperature falls down, that's when we go to light sleep. From light sleep, we go to NREM. Now this one is the most important one for me. The non-rapid eye movement. Why? Because this is very sleep. And my brother once did report it to my mom that I sleepwalk from my bedroom to the hall. And that had happened many times. And the last but not the least is the REM, which is rapid eye movement. And this is where dreaming happens. This is where you actually dream. So I wonder, if I'm getting this horrendous type of dreams, do they also come true? So quite clearly the research says no, it doesn't. But you can surely bring your dreams to life. How? Let me show you.
Very good. Well, these are some examples. First, McCartney from the Beatles, he actually heard the humming of the sound of the music in his dreams, and that's how this song was inspired by. The Yesterday. The second is Frankenstein, the best. Mary Shelley, she actually got a dream of ghost, and there she actually saw Frankenstein giving a life to a monster, and that's from where she actually got the idea of Frankenstein. And last but not the least, Les Ho. So let's see this person Les. He actually invented sewing machine, and let me tell you how. In one so one day Elias, he went to sleep, and he actually got a nightmare where he was surrounded by those people who eat humans, what we call cannibals. Yes. Yes. So he was surrounded by cannibals, and those cannibals actually demanded him to invent a sewing machine in 24 hours. And when he woke up, that's when he invented a sewing machine. And everything happened in dreams. So I felt, oh, okay, so now I'm special. I have to be special. So I wanted to understand why I dream what I dream. What is behind it, right? So that day, so I see, I've done an internal work, to be honest, and I realized that dreams are stories. Now these stories are just random, anything we are running on the road. Sometimes we are just missing our our exams. But these stories are emotions, and these emotions are the ones that we have actually experienced in our real life. So the stories are real, but the emotions that we feel are real. And that's why we dream to process our feelings, to review our memories. That is how we remember things, and all the useless gets deleted. And third is to figure out problems, just like August did. So how did I get out of it? Well, now today I don't see any nightmares because I meditate, I journal my emotions, and last but not least, I listen to positive affirmations every night before I go to sleep. These are the 3 things I have been doing for the last 2 years without missing a single day. So the answer is we are the answer. While I was trying to figure it out by asking people why this is happening to me, I realized that the answer was in my emotions. The answer was me. My dreams were related to me, and my dreams were related to my emotions. And that's how we get our dreams. So, for us, it has to be. So, I would like to leave you all that while we go and dream tonight, we cannot control our dreams, but we can surely control our daydreaming. So, while we're daydreaming, let's dream big and turn them into secrets. Thank you and namaste.
Next, she said that dreams are associated with emotions. From last few years, I'm always dreaming of big snakes running after me. I've never in real life experienced anything related to the snakes. Now there is a 5-minute. So we have 1 minute time for feedback. Now I request the timer to come on the stage and give the timing report of all the speakers.
So Toastmaster Divya took 6 minutes 25 seconds. So say is qualified to vote. Toastmaster Jillian took 6 minutes 42 seconds. She is qualified to vote. Toastmaster Kalyana Kumar took 8 minutes 24 seconds. It's not qualified to vote. Toastmasters Sakshi took 8 minutes 33 seconds.
Now we will move for the break. We will have 10 minutes break and you will return within 10 minutes. If that person is right, maybe you are right, but you are not compatible. And it will disturb your emotional well-being, your financial well-being, social status, health, and many more things. Now I don't have any suggestion on this thing and what to do because in for my case, I didn't have the idea that how to choose the right partner, so I relied on my parents. And they have chosen the very right partner. It's not recording. So our third source of happiness is finding the right partner for yourself. Now, fourth thing, चौथा सुख, I will tell you because it's very difficult. चौथा सुख पुत्र हो आज्ञाकारी. Yeah, this is a real thing. Now, what happens? Now I give you an imagination. Suppose you created something out of your whole life saving, and your son or your daughter is destroying because they are addicted to the drugs or alcohol. What will be your imagination? What will be your experience of that thing? Devastating. I give you a real life example. There was a super senior of mine. He was also a scientist, and out of his whole life saving, he purchased a house in his hometown in Delhi, and he was having a very strong affection with that house. He was having emotional bond with that house, and he was planning to settle and stay in that house after retirement. So after retirement, what happened? He was having 2 sons, and his 2 sons was needing some money to expand the business. This person did not want to sell that house, but both the sons forced him so much that eventually he has to give up and sell that house. He sold the house, and on the next day he committed suicide. So you can imagine the pain and the sorrow that person would have experienced because his own son is not understanding his feeling for that house and his emotions. The same was the case with the Raymond, the owner of the Raymond, who started this company, and his own son thrown him out from the business as well as from the house. Whatever the reason, but this fourth thing matters: how you are giving parenting to your children, how you are raising your children. It's not only the health and education, what type of behavior, what type of status your children are acquiring down the line. It's the duty of parents as well as teachers to ensure that they get the right set of parenting. Now with this, we will move to the next session of today's meeting, that is an educational session by an experienced Toastmaster. He is a distinguished Toastmaster, has an 11 years of experience, and he has a fervent dedication to the public speaking, leadership, and personal growth. Alongside his Toastmasters journey, he has led Miracle Works, a web design company, for the last 21 years. He recently debuted as an author with his book Raised Within, which is now also available on Amazon. Now I request ATM Ron Gilvera to come on the stage. From long time the Toastmaster. Too long, sometimes too long. So I have one question: how Toastmaster influence the happiness in the life?
Simplest way I can say is that when I joined Toastmasters, I could speak well, I could communicate, but there was no real expression in myself. Once I joined Toastmasters, I really found expression, storytelling, a lot of different skills, and as I grew as a speaker, I grew as a person also. So obviously, if you join, you will obviously become a very good speaker. But there is something also happening in the background, which is you grow as a person also. So all the new members, guests, old members spend a lot of time in Toastmasters. It's a big difference to you. Yeah. Okay. So we start the session today, which is Toastmasters impromptu speaking for the Better Speaking series. So what is the Better Speaking series? Is a series of education sessions. Toastmasters are designed on different topics, where experienced Toastmasters give these topics, and you learn from it. So that's for the education of the clubs. There are a series of 12 to 14 different topics. I have picked impromptu speaking today because that's something which a lot of people have asked for and a lot of people have challenged. So what is impromptu speaking? Why is it important? So let's have a quick this. Why is impromptu speaking important in life? Where do you use it? Where can you use it? Why is it important? You throw out your ideas. Yeah.
Because every time we don't get the chance to prepare and speak.
Yeah, so you know, most time in life doesn't give you a chance to speak. You have to learn to speak quickly and properly. What else? Where else can you use impromptu speaking?
Organizations. Elevator pitch.
Organizations. In organizations, be more specific.
Reply to the vibe.
Okay, then we make the jokes. In organization, in an interview or something. Somebody said something else from this side.
Elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch. So if you want to sell your product, you want to sell it to a VC or nowadays startups are big. So if you meet some big investors, you are ready to give an elevator pitch. Very important. Impromptu speaking. What else? Where else can you use this? Think about it. Where else in life does it come useful?
Typically, when we present in the Q&A that happens in the sometimes it's not anticipated.
Yeah, so you can prepare a great speech, but you have to give a Q&A at the end of the presentation, and then when the questions come, you can't. So that confidence is missing. So impromptu speaking is a very big part of Toastmasters, and we have a complete session on it called table talk session. Right? There we are given a subject, and you are going to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Now today my educated session is replacing that session, but normally if you attend a meeting, you have a table talk, it's open to guests also. The guests can also come and give the table talk speech. So let me ask you, how many of you have done table topics? Have come on stage and given at least one table talk? Quite a lot. So let me ask you a follow-up. What was the problems you faced when you gave the table topic? What are the issues? What are the fears that you faced when you came and gave the speech? What stopped you? What caused problem? Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot the topic in the middle of the night.
So you when the table talk master gave a topic, you forgot it in the middle of the
No,
speech.
I started the topic
Yes.
well, but I had the points in mind before starting my speech.
Yes.
So I wanted to navigate through it,
Yes.
but then in between, I kind of forgot the name.
So when there is a blank in between, lost the plot. Very common happens. Yes.
Not confident whether we are really talking on the.
So you're not sure what you're talking is really on point, not very good. What else? Nervousness, you're jittering. Yes, very good.
Getting an idea quickly to give that topic.
So topic is given and you have to come up with something
Some idea.
fast. You know, because everybody's waiting and looking at you. You're like, oh my God, I have to. Sometimes you don't even remember the topic, just repeat the topic. How many happened? How many people? A lot of people.
So when I was part of the table topics contest, I just forgot middle of the speech. What was the topic?
That's not a very good time. But yes, it happens quite often that you're given a topic. Sometimes the topic is too complicated and you are talking and like you just lose track of it. Or
There are times when you have to or you have this pressure of appearing very intellectual, especially as you become a senior. You can't simply glamour, but then you need to give yourself that.
yeah, so I would say there are two forms of it. Once you want to impress people and you overdo it, sometimes you overcook the goose as they say, right? And sometimes you don't feel that okay, this audience will not understand what I'm trying to say and you hold yourself back. In both cases, so my point is, table topic is an important skill. There are a lot of things you have to overcome to become a good table topic. There's a lot of fear, there are a lot of concentration issues, a lot of issues that come up with it. And that is, today I give you a bit of kind of a primer on table topics on impromptu speaking. My session will be divided into two parts. First is what I would say offline. What do you do to become a good impromptu speaker, not on stage, outside stage? That will be the first part of my education session. And the second is we will look at actually technical parts which you can use to give when you're on stage and under the pump, so to speak. Right? So both these we'll cover. So let's go to the first part. If I asked you to go drive to Pune, but there was no petrol in your tank, would you reach the destination? No, obviously not. Very simple question. So when I ask you this question, let me take this question and ask you, in table topics, what is the fuel? What fuels a good table topic? What is the petrol? Yes. Content is too broad, so let's kind of drill down a little bit. So what would you do in life to make yourself a better table topic speaker? Get experience. Read. Read. Okay, so I'll go with the let me slide this down. Read alone. Very important. And I'm glad this is the first point that came up. And now a lot of people, when I say something like read a lot, I'm like, I don't have to read books and that. Doesn't matter. Read small stuff, small articles, small parts. I what do you call it? Blog articles. Just read anything that is small, even one paragraph. You read it, it's okay. That information has to come. Reading very important. And I've noticed that the best table topic speakers, best impromptu speakers, they read a lot. Lot of petrol going their heads. Okay, what else? Yeah.
I think story bank.
Story bank, very nice. I want to make another spin on this. Something with story bank, what goes with story bank? Something which I am famous for. Money. I'll come to that. Jokes. Very good. I have a bank of poor jokes. Or jokes, or whatever you want. I have a bank of poor jokes. Now my victims will testify. So you have a story bank. What is a story bank? Is just something when you read or you listen to somebody's stories and they come into your head. They are related to some topic or some moral. What happens is when you have these stories, and when you're given a topic, you can pull that story out of your this and just talk about it, right? And you can build your entire speech around that one story. So having a story bank is very important. This is something you can work on. You can go online and go to the sites which give stories and maybe a story a day that the sites and that. So do that. So add that fuel into your brain for what else? I think Aditya said, what do you say? Quotes, very important. Quotations for all occasions. One of my favorite books growing up, Quotations for All. I don't know if it's still available. Quotations can really drive home a point about a topic more than any other thing. If you have a quotation that comes up and you say it, you've sold your audience. It really creates it. Be the change you want to be, you want to see rather. Mahatma Gandhi. One simple line, how much impact it creates. So quotations are very important. This should be your memory bank. Get a book of quotations or go through a site in quotations or just go to a place where you get a subscription of quotation a day, like a story a day. So there's a lot of resources online. There's no excuse for not going into them. And the most beautiful thing is once you start reading quotation, it's so enjoyable that you will keep on, it becomes a habit. And then you find yourself talking to somebody and then suddenly a quotation comes out of nowhere. You didn't even know you knew that. So it should be that. Okay, so we got read a lot, story, quotations, what else? Sorry?
Examples.
Personal examples. I like that. Personal stories I would say. How does it differ from the story bank? How is it different from the story bank?
Personal stories are the ones that you experience.
You experience. Story banks might be kathas, story, grandmother's tales, moral tales, all that. Story banks is simple thing like I remember you told us a story about the rickshaw who came in a rickshaw. Also entertaining. It was a simple story about her experience catching the rickshaw and coming to a destination. But just that 5-10 minute drive to us in the rickshaw was so entertaining and it was a great story which you shared with us. So any personal, when you are actually going through life, the life is a series of stories you think about. There's episodes happening to you. 5 those episodes in your memory. Right? And I'll give you one last thing after we complete the list. What will seal this in your head? Right? So personal stories and examples. What else? Now,
For all those 4 factors you have mentioned, remembering them a lot.
I'll come to that. I'll come to this.
Eating
Yes,
yourself.
Yeah.
Having your own voice, point of view.
I think personal stories covers it.
But like personal stories is, like it is in a way, but like even having your own perspective on it. Because even if you are just evaluating other people.
Okay, so I will take this and I'll go to my next point, which I wanted to say. Current affairs and your opinions. That makes sense? Your opinion about current affairs or news. Let me ask you, what happened in Baltimore 2 days back?
Yes, we just fall.
Bridge has collapsed. Tanker crashed into the bridge. Right? Can you use it in a table topic? Maybe. So always be up to date with current affairs. What it is, so I said India to here, not the face. So my point is be in current affairs, and his point is have your opinions also on it. But be careful about your opinions. You know, don't want to tick off people. Be qualified. This is my opinion. This is what I think. If it's too controversial, I have a simple funda. If in doubt, leave it. Right? If you feel it's going to be important, don't go in front of audiences. But yeah, it's very important to have your opinion on current affairs, on ideas, on what you feel about things. Like as he was asking all the people coming on the stage, what do you think is meaning of life, happiness? Everybody has their opinions formed by all these together. Anything else I'm missing?
Yes.
Yes.
How to express, how to articulate. How to express, how to articulate. This exhibit, you have read a lot many books, you have stories.
I will come to that. Just give me 2 minutes. Yes.
To
Let
add
me
to
finish
the
the
personal
list.
stories and emotions. So bank itself have a story on happiness, have a story on sadness, have a story on jealousy.
Jealousy.
Stories for all.
So I would say understand the emotional content of what you are doing, right? So that you know when to pull it out. When you want, if the topic is sad, then you know when you pull out a sad story. So understand the context of what you have. Right? Very important. Like if everybody's serious and you try to crack a joke, it's not good. I've tried, trust me. So I think this list is pretty comprehensive. Everybody agrees that if you can do this, you might turn into a pretty good speaker. Yes. Everybody doubts that, everybody has queries about that. So this is a pretty good list, comprehensive list to do this. Now, okay, you are doing this, but how does it get cemented in your brain? Idea. How would you take all this and fit it in your brain?
Keep using that experience.
Very nice. So, Praxis. Very. Keep using them. You said something? Experience. So this is a very strange funda which happens. This is a lot of time people expect that in their real lives they don't speak at all. They don't contribute. They don't talk to them. They talk to each other, but they don't really discuss things. They don't share their opinions. But then they expect that they'll come on stage and then they'll magically be able to talk. So it's like, I don't know how to drive, but I'll just sit in the car and sit there. That's what happens on stage. Like, what is this? What is the wrong thing in front of me? So it's something like that. So you need to, in life, become a storyteller. You need to give speeches, no matter who you're with. You need to spout quotations, no matter who is listening or not, right? You need to have personal stories, and you need to share those personal stories with your friends and family. Talk out them, doesn't matter. But do that. You don't be quiet outside in life and then expect to become a great speaker on stage. People who know me know how much I talk. And most of the time it's nonsense, but I talk and it comes out. Right? Yes, Vidya is the first place. I also follow current affairs a lot, right? And I'm tuned to CNN, Donald Trump is my favorite. Something of the affairs going on, there's always something in my head. And if somebody, I sit down with friends and we have long discussions, so we get tested. So have that in your life. Don't expect that you will be quiet in your life if you have a group of friends. In bed, everybody is saying something and you are quietly listening. If you expect to be good here, to be good there also. And you will fail. You will say something stupid. People say, it's all right. Fail a few times there, you will fail here also. But at one point, people will say something important, something good. Everybody agree with me? Yes. So this is how you do it. Your repetition, the experience by talk, being outspoken with each other. Now, Toastmasters give us a very good friend circle where everybody loves to talk with each other, connect with each other, meet for coffee, tea, whatever, and have long discussions, long-winded philosophical discussion, bring out the quotations, fight each other with quotations, fight each other with stories, say, oh, you're wrong. Get that whole experience going. And then when you come on stage, it's like you're arguing with your friends. Comes out. But you can't do it offline and expect great results on the stage. So clear on this is the offline part of it. So everybody clear on any questions? This part. I'm very good on it. Okay. So this is the part about the offline. Now I'll go to a more technical part. I have to refer to my notes for that. is the online part on the stage. Okay. So imagine you are volunteering for a table. Now this is very specific to Toastmasters. We are using incorporate the Toastmasters center, and you are coming on stage to speak. Okay, so when you come here, table master come here, he gives you the topic. He or she gives you the topic. What is the first thing you do? Start.
Listen.
Listen.
The address was.
First thing is listen. Quiet your mind. That comes in. Quiet your mind. You really listen to the topic. All that chatter just close it down for a few seconds and listen to what the topic is. Right? That is the first part of it. A lot of people come in with anxiety, and you know the table topic master tells a topic and they're not registered. Happens. Has it happened to somebody? Huh? They set the topic, but you not listen to the topic also. How are you going to speak about it? And then there are inevitable happens. What was the topic? Right now. Just calm yourself down, forget the audience, listen to the topic. If you can't understand something the table topic master pronounced, clarify. What was that word? You get it. Understand the topic. If you don't understand the way, understand the words are. Right? So listen. After listening and you understood the topic, what it is, what is the next thing you do? Yes. So what do you do when you're thinking? Pause. Just give yourself a little bit of pause. Look down or just relax. Pause. Think about the topic. Right? I'll give you a little more practical examples also. But think about it. Just pause. Don't start rushing. Just that 2 to 5 seconds pause will give you a lot of ammunition to charge on. How long of pause can you take in a table session? Officially, how long can you pause? A table topic is 1 to 2 minutes, 30 seconds pace. So how much time can you take a pause?
10 seconds.
No, exactly. No. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. You can pause for 2 minutes. Who's asking you to speak? Take as much time as you want. Take 30 seconds to 1 minute. Even if you speak for 30 seconds and it's powerful, it's good enough. That brings me to another point. You don't need to use it. Yeah.
Very technical question.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you pause it for 2 minutes, when does the timer start?
Timer starts for the first word, and if you are like still, they'll start after 15 seconds.
Okay. So if you have spoken after the topic has been given,
Yeah.
the timing starts after 15 seconds.
It does. Yeah, there is. I saw that. Timer to start.
In reality, the chief judge is elaborating this saying that we get 5 seconds to think if you don't start the timer. Because
It's very hard.
15 seconds, there is no specific.
I've seen 15 seconds. So it is a rare case. Most people start speaking anyway. But my point is the timer will start. So to your point, he will start. Doesn't matter. Let him start. You take your time to compose your ideas.
No, I was specifically talking about the contest.
Yeah, so contest, they will start the timer, but that doesn't force you to. Ideally, when you say the first word or make the first gesture, they'll start the timer. So we got pause. Okay, next is part of organization. What is the next step that you take? Confirm. Confirm. You repeat the topic to the audience, repeat it to yourself. You talk about the topic. And this is a very nice way to buy time. Oh, wow, this topic is so nice. Thank you, table topic master, for giving me the topic. And it's so relevant to today. You keep repeating the topic so that your brain starts registering the topic. That's one interesting trick you can do. You need to confirm the topic to yourself. Right? Then it comes to the magic. There is no other way. You have to deliver the speech. You have to bring out those ideas, you have to deliver. So that is comes under what we would call tell. So you got to listen, pause, confirm the topic, and then just tell. And lastly, end. Beware of the timer. Beware that it's a table topic impromptu and start winding up. Plan how to work it. So close the topic. Also in good time. Sometimes you will go on and on and on, or sometimes you will close too early. If you're not seeing the green card and your template to close, which is basically 1 minute has not passed yet, the timer is not showing the green card, and you close, you get disqualified in the contest and in club meetings also. You listen, pause, confirm the topic, tell the speech, and then finally end. Any questions so far?
Can you change the company?
In the contest? I think they changed the rule to in the contest you cannot, but you can ask them to repeat it. Earlier they used to not allow repeating also. No, earlier they used to not allow repeating contest. Now they made it intermediate because people are having some trouble with whatever audio devices or whatever. So in that contest rules you have to repeat. Okay, so any questions so far? With me, okay, asleep, awake? Yeah, go ahead.
What if a topic is given? The person doesn't know.
So I'll come to some of these techniques which I can what such a case will come to this. Okay, so now I'll come to the actual. Yeah.
There's some tip about how to end them and what happens with me. You can teach me and end the document.
One quick way to do end well is to throw out some call to action. You can say, so this is what I want to talk about it, and this is what I want you to go home and do. Something like that, you can close it. It's very powerful call to action over the topic. So if it is like the dangers of AI, for example, is the topic. How would you close it? You close it, please go home and do your research and find out what is about AI. You all should be informed. So we do that to close. Right? So, yeah.
So a lot of times I've seen topics being given which is very memory based. Like I will give you a topic that was given to me that describe the first fight you had in your life. Now after 17 years of getting married and 17 million fights, I really don't remember.
The lucky guy.
Now, the question is, if someone gives me that kind of a topic, can I simply dissect the whole thing and take a small slice of it, which is fights, and only talk about that rather than having to remember something or to up something from memory, which is kind of.
So something between you and your wife. Does anybody know about the fight? Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
I got it. I got it. Speaking for story is very different from expressing yourself. That's the reason.
Absolutely no issue. There are no rules in this. Except don't do the bad stuff. The naughty stuff. Don't do that. Otherwise, nobody cares what you're doing. But it has to be relevant to the audience. You go into a tangent and nobody understands what you are talking about. That you have to be careful about. But yeah, memory-based thing like very common club, say your first vacation, your first day in school and all that. You can't remember it. Make up something. Nobody knows. Nobody was there with you.
These are conditions.
Yeah.
So you're doing a competition. So if how do you differentiate yourself to the opening to have a stronger presence amongst the other students? Because if everyone is following the same rules, you kind of know the same kind of things. To make yourself the differentiating factor in get the edge, how would you either shuffle them or bring something to the table?
Okay, so let me address that at the end. Let me go through some techniques before I run out of time. Okay. So these are 4 techniques which is commonly used, which you can use when you're giving a speech. First time you get a topic, first you can try is for and against. I'll give you an example. AI is a danger to humanity. How many for? Show of hands. How many against? How many disagree? All of you have opinions. So you can take the topic and if you feel strongly either way about it, you can say, okay, I don't agree with this topic. I'll say speak against it. The AI is not a danger, it can be a great tool for humanity. So you can go for and against. The fastest way to get into a topic, but it applies to certain types of topics. For example, the first fight with your wife can be for or against, right? It has to be something else to do. Yeah. But for or against opinions. Second is cause and effect, is another thing. This happened because this is like this. So it could be if you have some kind of scientific this topic, it could maybe talk about how an example like for cause and effect. Anybody have any idea? Cause and effect.
right? Are bridges safe or not? Cause and effect you can think of it. Bridges are safe as long as big giant tankers are smashed into them. Otherwise, what happens is a big tragedy. Not a perfect example, but you're getting the idea. So you find the cause, like today Sakshi's speech, bending rings. Cause was he was trying to find this, and then effect was he found the solution in the dream. Something like that. So find the cause and effect. I'm not giving you a good example, but just think about it.
Environment.
Yeah.
Environment.
Environment as in
How we live our life, but it is affecting the pollution.
good. That's a good one. Cause and effect. So environment related topics, we get a lot of those. So she can start with cause. Like we as human beings, we have a pristine planet, and we did this and this and this, and now we have this effect. Very good example. Thanks. Problem and solution will also be a good idea. Cause and effect, problem and solution. So you define the problem and you give a solution. Or define the issue and you give the current state of the issue. Another interesting technique is breaking into components. Break a topic into A, B, C, D, E, into small bite-sized ideas. Now this is a little more difficult to do and it depends a lot on the topic. But say somebody says the history of computing is a topic too. So in the 1960s there was a computer called the abacus that was created. And then in 1980s the first microprocessor came in. Then in this thing we had this thing. Then we got this. So you can go into small parts. For example, for stories topic of my first being married, we were very happy, and we enjoyed and had a fantastic honeymoon. But then something happened. I said something, she said something. Then we had fight. But then after 2 days, we made up and we still married. Something like that. Break it up into kind of causal chain. One way of doing it. Making sense? Am I making sense? Yes. Better, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Again, last technique is past, present, and future. What I told about computers, history of computing, talk about how the environment was, how the current is, then we talk about the future. So these are the 4 prescribed techniques: for and against, opinion, cause and effect, right? Breaking into components, breaking into small chunks and try to make sense of the topic. Follow the breadcrumbs kind of method. And last is past and present and future. So some topics are very historical in nature. Future of humanity, something like in the past we were apes, then we kind of got civilized, the agrarian age came in, now we are into the information age. The future we are going to the digital age where we will discard our bodies and become digital beings. Past, present, and future. And do something like that also. So that in a nutshell is the techniques for this. Now very important is don't get married to any of this, because you don't know what topic is going to come. So I'm going to give you the most important tip for impromptu speaking today. How many want to hear that? The most important thing. Only who's not raised their hand? You don't want to hear the important. The most thing that you have to keep in mind when you are talking in impromptu speaking, especially with paper topics. Here it is. It's really suspense. Are you working? Some days you are up, some days you are not. Getting? Some days you are hot, some days you are not. Some days ideas will come like this. You are like, who is this speaking? It's not me. And some days like the dumbest topic and you can't, your brain goes. And it's like an IPL match. Sometimes you hit like 6 sixes and sometimes you get out on. So whenever you're doing a table topic, whatever happens on stage, you leave it on stage and you go back. There is some dumb gas effect. Like you go and sit down and then like, I should have said, how many has happened to almost everybody. So you're going to fail. 100% guarantee. I have failed. Take the best Toastmaster in the world, guarantee they have failed. Right? So be comfortable with failure. Fail in this environment. Fail among Toastmasters. Get used to it. You fail outside also, but don't carry that failure. I gave that topic, I thought horrible, I couldn't think of something. I'm not going to go to the next meeting. It happens. Some people get that affected, like they feel so traumatized that they came on stage, somebody behind somebody and they couldn't think of anything. Right? So don't carry that. And fail forward, as they say in the tech industry. Fail forward. Come and give one extra. Fail again. Nobody is charging you for every failure. Just come and fail. And try again. Some days you start clicking, as you start getting more and more petrol in your tank, you'll start clicking. Right? For some, it's easier because we have certain type of education, some kind of background, we have a reading habit. It comes easier for some from maybe a different language medium. It is more difficult. It's more of a struggle. No, this to give up. Right? Just go away. Some days you'll be hot, some days you'll be. Some contests I have won outright. Some contests I'm like, where do I go and hide my head? You know, that one. So don't worry about it. Leave it on the stage and just go ahead. That's the biggest step I think. But the most important, of course, is the flip side of that is comment text. Right? I take questions now because I think we are almost done. Last question before we close. I hope this has been useful. Yeah, what was the question you were asked about? Okay, so how do you differentiate yourself on stage? The differentiation comes from this. What you know. Techniques and all that differ on the topics. But what you know, you can pull out the right quotation or you can pull out the right story at the right time. You'll be head and shoulders above one. So it's an emphasis purely on the quality of the information. Or let's say even your
Depends
personality
on-
and your presentation style.
Depends on the topic. Depends on the topic. Some topics lend themselves to stories, some topics lend themselves to analysis, some topics lend themselves to opinions, strong opinions. And if you support that with stories and quotes and maybe a joke, I mean, a joke is like an atom bomb in a table. You will automatically win most of the time because if the public laughs, you get a lot of positive opinions. Right? Very important, but it's the most difficult part because you must incorporate humor on impromptu. Takes a lot of practice. Trust me. I have tried. Yes. Any other last question?
I don't know my answer.
Robin? Where's Robin? Robin. Oh.
I don't know what that was.
No.
He said that if you don't understand.
Mimi has a question actually, but she wanted to say.
If you don't understand the topic, how do
Oh,
you
yes.
Thank you. Okay, so this is the technique for not understanding the topic. 3 things you can do. If it's a complex topic, you're not understanding the concept of the topic. Take some word from that topic and just speak about that word. Right? The effect of quantum computing on the future of computers. How many of you truly understand this topic? Sorry, but which word do you understand? Quantum computing for the future of computers. Which word do you understand?
Future of.
Just take time a little bit if you understand one word.
One word on. Okay, sir. One word.
Yeah. Who's?
No, like suppose the topic is only one word and you don't understand the word. Alphabet.
So that comes to the second part. Be authentic. Say sorry, I didn't understand the topic. Can you give me another topic? If it's not possible in a contest, excuse yourself. No, it's seriously, it's not.
What's your interpretation of what you understand?
If you just don't understand the word and you say something,
I never
go for it.
that kind of it is a
Yes.
here it can happen.
I'm going over time, but you're okay with it. You guys are okay with it.
Yes.
So there are certain table topics which are abstract. We see table topics like blue. That's it. That's a table topic. Blue. Those are the best type of topics to get.
Yeah.
Because you can say anything you want. Blue is such a wide this thing. But you know what, people get stymied by that. Because they suddenly there's a curse of choice. Well, blue mein itna samay, what do I talk about? But then that's the point. If you don't understand the word, I'm serious about this. Not hostage. Nobody blame you. People will respect you for your authenticity. But it's very, very, very. And then the third thing I was going to tell you. One thing was use a word, right? Second is say thank you and walk off. Yeah.
Just my thoughts and correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes when we give, we talk about a topic, we give some examples that so we shouldn't run into some kind of
Be sensitive or controversial.
Know your audience, know your audience. It's a very common sense thing. You have common sense. When you're speaking, you have to know what you are speaking in. Bharatiya audience, you have to be very careful. You go and give a speech in Singapore, there is no leeway. You go in the US, you get a lot of leeway. But you have to understand the context of the audience. So that is not really part of this. It's just common sense. You need to know what to say. Again, the same maxim. When in doubt, leave it out. Okay? Any other questions? No.
I mean, give us a live example.
Please, yeah. Time is also the best. But first time I happen to do the right thing. Thank you very much. It's been a great honor.
One very important lesson I learned from Toastmasters educational session, and that is applicable to all the role players mentioned here. Whatever happens on the stage, stays on the stage. Don't be afraid of. Now I have covered 4 points. The first important thing for having a happy life is health. Second, money, third, right partner, parenting the children right way. The fourth thing is Pacham Sukh, Swadesh Nivasa. It means that the fifth source of happiness that you see in your own country. There's a logic behind it. When you are staying in your own country, he's looking at me, but he's going outside. So, like when you are staying in your own country, you have access to your friends, relatives, loved ones. Whenever you will be in trouble, you will have access to the financial. They can support you financially, emotionally, in all the possible ways. Legally, if you look into any document, any constitution, you will see the person who is born in the country have more rights compared to the person who comes from outside. Now, I have a little different view on this. Suppose if you are born in a poor country, poor family, you don't leave the family. You go out of the family, earn the money, bring your family out of poverty. Same applies to the country. If you are born in a developing country, does not mean that you will leave the country and settle in the outside. When you are born and raised in a country, you owe something to that country. You need to return it back. So even if you are born in a developing country, eventually India will also become a developed nation. Please don't leave it. Learn, go outside, learn from outside country, come back to the India and do for the country. This is the fifth thing. Now I will we move to the next session of today's meeting, that is the feedback session, and we have a journal evaluator for today's meeting. And let me introduce her. She is from HR background, and she has gained experience in HR management and labor laws. Dancing holds a very special status in her heart, and her philosophy revolves around giving the life to its utmost potential. I invite on the stage our general evaluator, Toastmaster Vidya.
So the question is purpose. I know what you want to ask. What is my purpose of life? But I want to prove, like Divya and he, I want to prove you all wrong. You might be thinking my purpose of life is getting party, right? My purpose of life is getting party. Okay. Welcome to yet another important aspect of a Toastmasters meeting, and that is evaluation. Evaluation means assessing and analyzing. It includes giving and receiving feedback. In Toastmasters, evaluation and feedback are very important. It helps us to understand where we are so that we can take action to improve and grow in our journey of communication and leadership. Like any Toastmasters meeting, this section is further divided into 3 parts. First is evaluation of individual speeches. Second is report from the tag team, and the third is evaluation of the meeting as a whole. Let's begin with the first aspect of this section, and that is evaluation of preparedness. So put your hands together as I invite our first evaluator, who is Toastmaster Rashmi, who will be evaluating.
Good evening, everyone, once again. So firstly, I would like to congratulate Divya for a wonderful speech. Like we all have heard that a journey to 1,000 miles begins with the first step that we take. And Divya's journey in the Toastmasters milestone now has begun with her first speech that she's given in the club. A beautiful speech, right? We all would agree. I had a list of wonderful words that she had used all throughout the speech. And during the break, I also asked her 2 words, which I just didn't hear anytime. So to begin with, your speech was beautiful. It had the structure of the speech to talk about. It had a good opening when you said that you have seen different phases of life. So it had a good opening, you had a beautiful content, and your end was also very nice when you said that this is the reason why I have come here to learn things, that why did you join Toastmasters? As the first speech in a club, you won't have a lot of expectations or the speech objectives, or you wouldn't really be assessed on too many parameters because that's your first speech. But trust me, your first speech just didn't sound like a first speech because it was so professional. It had so many beautiful words that she had used. The flow of the speech was very right. It had the right pauses, which is very rare to happen in the first speech. So I would like to really appreciate that to be done in the first speech. Talking about few of the recommendations that I have, very few trust me on this because I struggle to give this. One is your gestures, because I found that in the entire speech, you had your hands like this. So I think if you keep it open, or if you would use more of your gestures, which I would really expect it to be done in the following speeches, that would enhance your speech going forward. Also, your gaze of the audience, like you said, that the eye connect and everything, but yes, the gaze of the audience really helps to make that connect with them. But overall, a wonderful speech. I wish you all the best for your Toastmasters. Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite evaluator Dhani, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Gina's speech.
So, hello and a very warm welcome to one and all present here. My speaker is Toastmaster Gina, and it was 3 p.m. today, and out of the blue, I have her name on the speakers list today. So, kudos to that, and thank you for taking up the role as well. So, I'll begin with the things that I really liked in the speech. Those were nice takeaway you had in your speech. You gave a great conclusion. And the structure of the speech was very nicely built. So opening, making the people curious about your topic, then telling briefly what are the advantages, disadvantages, and concluding it and giving a good takeaway was really nice. Second, you used the complete stage. From here, you engaged every audience, and it was really nice that you have eye contact with everyone. So let's say a good eye contact. Fourth, you used a Marathi or a Hindi one-liner thing that I could not pick up, but it was really nice to add different languages to involve in a speech. Fifth, I would say good usage of examples. The Unfriend Day, 17th November, really relatable, maybe to be used by me someday. Seventh, I'd say nice summarization. At the end, you gave a summarization of your own speech. It was really nice. And most importantly, coming to the purpose of this, which was voice modulation and body language. I assume your body language was very open and great, which was very nicely met. Second, voice modulation was also met nicely. So you had a high pitch to engage the audience and excite you, okay, what is coming next? And you had a low pitch where you were suspicious about things. You started with a shush. That was really nice. So I think the speech was met the objective that it was. I think 3 areas of improvement according to me that I could give. First is the speech started with 2 lines which were very low. I think the end of the benches might not have heard the starting lines, which I felt. But generally, as the speech graduated, you were audible to everyone. Second of all, I thought you pacing through the stage in between sometimes. So from here to here, you went really quick. I felt that. So maybe next time you can have 5 minutes here, then the middle of the stage, then the conclusion there. Maybe that could help not pacing. So I could concentrate
more on your speech. So the third would be to challenge you better. You asked many rhetorical questions in your speech that were answered by you, but I'd say that next time maybe you could engage the audience by asking a question to have opening. So it could be a stronger opening, I believe. That's all I would like to say. Thank you. Okay. Please hold on your applause as I invite Toastmaster Praveen, our third evaluator, to evaluate a speaker Kalyan.
That was an extremely humorous speech where you explained the styles of communication that we have and how they have had an impact on you, right? So you spoke of how you change the way you give your the report, right? Where when your boss informed you that you don't have to give the whole story, right? You gave a short report. You also spoke of how the style that is used by a star, how that made you a bit cynical, right? That way, and then employee views how they speak to you quickly. So due to that, I can say that you have fulfilled the objectives of your speech. What I like about your speech that you use humor, it's extremely well, right? So you gave the example of a HR, then you gave the example of how politician speaks. You also explain the styles really well by making use of all these examples that we experience in the day-to-day life. So the examples were extremely really relatable. So I also have some areas of improvement. One thing was that you spoke a bit too fast because I was not able to understand the whole speech because your speed was too high. The structure that you had, that I thought that it did not have a well defined opening and an ending, right? So when you started your speech, you just right in by giving an example of this school picture where any sheet outside you. So you could have started off by saying that different situations require different styles, and so we experience all this in the day-to-day life. And then afterwards, you would have started with the some person. Also, your ending, right? Your title was oscillations. I thought you were not able to connect it well to the speech you had. So you could have ended it by mentioning the title, because that would have helped us to relate the title to your speech. To conclude, excellent use of humor. You explained the styles real well. You can improve by speaking a bit slowly, and you can organize your speech well. So the best. Would you?
Please help me welcome our fourth evaluator, Toastmaster Tanish, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Sakshi's speech.
Sweet dreams. What a wonderful topic. The moment I heard, it caught my attention. But the dreams had murder, had nightmare, and zombies, things I did not expect. What a crafty way of choosing a speech title. I loved your speech title. And when I was listening to speech, it connected me again. A very smart and innovative way to get the speech title. The purpose of the speech was the speaker to demonstrate and use PowerPoint slides to enrich your speech, and you very well demonstrated that today. Never during your speech I felt that the PPT took the front of the stage. Always you were in the stage, cracking jokes, cracking humor, and the PPT was always in support. So kudos to you for achieving the project objective, was using the PowerPoint to support and enhance your speech. A very well way how we need to use PPT, not just in Toastmasters, but professionally as well. Not writing all the words out there, but having the content in our mind and just using beautiful descriptive. Some places it was entertaining, some places it was informational, and some places education. What I liked about your speech was it was personal and humorous. You are being authentic. How many of us would have the courage to come away and say the dreams we have in the night? That we are being afraid, scared. And she was being very honest and authentic. She was able to walk over here undeterred, sharing her dream, deepest fear over here. She was having the laughs along with us, making us smile, not realizing what trauma, what fear she would have gone through that. If you look into the depth of the speech on one hand, we had an amazing time listening to the speech, never realizing as a person what troubles she went through. That is her power as a storyteller to put across a story which might have made her anxious or fearful as something as enjoyable or humorous for us to not just attentively and entertainingly listen, but take time. Now, as you gave us how we can overcome our sleep troubles, let me give you a few recommendations how you can take your speech to further levels. Number one feedback is to have the speech timer. One of the things we learned in Toastmasters is how to keep our speech within the time zones. Your speech was great. I never even realized it crossed 8-minute mark. I never even felt tempted to look at my watch and look at it. You are that great a speaker. But in terms of crafting the speech in a Toastmasters, it's always good to keep it time bound. And how to do that? Probably I like their authentic personal stories. Maybe you can cut down on the macro stories. For example, the books where you mentioned them. They were entertaining, they were enjoyable. But in sight of keeping it time bound, maybe they could have been. Or maybe the benzene at the beginning, what you introduced. That was again great. But as a speaker, we have to learn the things we have to let go of, which can help us to meet our secondary objectives as well. The second thing which I would give recommendation for you is more interactive. You started with that question, like how many people are facing challenges in terms of it. At the end also, like are you going to try the suggestions which are given? Again, I felt the suggestions which you gave in terms of meditation and journal prompt, more time could have been given to that.
overall an amazing speech. I'm looking forward to more such speeches. Be personal, be authentic, and be nice.
Please help me welcome our fifth evaluator, Toastmaster Meenakshi, who will be evaluating of Toastmasters.
Good evening once again, everyone, and especially good evening to my target evaluator, Toastmaster Dhwani. Congratulations on taking the first step in your evaluation journey, and what a surprise it has been for you and for us as well. For you, because just like you mentioned, at 3 o'clock you came to know that till now you were thinking that it was going to be an icebreaker speech, but then the objectives changed because the speaker changed. But you stood up to whatever life threw at your way. So kudos to you for that. The biggest highlight for me was what you mentioned as the purpose of your speech. As a pathway project, it is very important for us to come and comment on the purpose, or that's why we come and talk about the purpose and then come and comment whether the speaker has achieved that purpose or not, which you did. However, that was your 8th point. I was making a list. That was your 8th point that you mentioned. So how about you could have come and spoke to the point of whether she has achieved the purpose, because the purpose was vocal variety and body language. From there itself, you could have gotten a couple of pointers for the commendations. Like for example, voice modulation. She had excellent voice modulation. She emphasized on the message that never share the password. It was had that tonal up and down. Then she paused when she said, cyber criminals are following us, and then she stood like this and paused over there. That was her body language. You could have brought that out. If you would have focused on the purpose itself, this would have come out in the first place. Like I said, again, same point. You had a laundry list of 7 big points, and this came as the 8th. Instead, choose your top 3 ones and go deep into that. Give more examples instead of just stating the laundry list of this was good, this was good, this was good. Choose the top 3 and go deep into that. That by giving an example from the speech itself, that this was good because it was all this. The second point that I have for you was you did use the recommendation, but you did not summarize at the end. You mentioned as a good point for her that she did have a summary, but you did not take away to your evaluation with that. So have a summary in the end. Especially from a contest point of view, there is 15 marks for summary. So keep that in mind. Once you develop that habit, it will help you during the contest as well. Your recommendations were really good. That there was a low voice. There was both recommendation in terms of content and delivery. So if you could have brought that out, that this is in terms of content, this is in terms of delivery, but good recommendations. Although it was a very tough speech, kudos to Toastmaster Jinal. It was very difficult to get out recommendations, but you still managed to get 2 good valid recommendations. And lastly, we know that this is your first speech, but come in with confidence. I'll tell you where I'm coming from. The point that you mentioned that there was some line in Marathi which I did not understand, that you could have said it with more confidence that yes, I did not understand, because it was a valid recommendation. Overall, looking forward to further evaluations from.
A big round of applause for all the evaluators. We all have learned from these inputs, right? Now let me call upon important pillars of today's meeting, our tag team. I would like to first call upon our timer, who will be stating the timings of the evaluators.
Toastmaster Rashmi took 2 minutes 19 seconds. She is qualified for voting. Toastmaster Dhwani took 2 minutes 54 seconds. She also qualified for voting. Dhwani is 2 minutes 54. Rashmi was 2 minutes 19.
54, right? And
yeah, third is Toastmaster Praveen, 5 minutes 26 seconds. So he is not qualified for voting. Then Toastmaster Amish took 3 minutes 28 seconds, he is qualified. Toastmaster Meenakshi took 3 minutes 18 seconds, he is qualified.
Okay. Ravi is not. We will statue him later for not shaking in the hands. Okay, let me call upon our next member of the tag team, that is our counter for today, Toastmaster Shrikant.
Overall, great day as far as our calendar is concerned. Very few hours. From Sakshi's side, I think there were quite a few. There were 3 souls, 1 euro, 5 hours, 1 thumb. Couple of short pauses, couple of eyes, and okay was a repetitive word. But overall, it was great. One that you maxed out your time. So. Kalyan Kumar again had a great speech, only couple of euros and 1 hour. Divya had 3 hours. Jinal never stops amazing us, so awesome. As far as the rest of the folks in the stage, there were 2 hours here and there. For example, Meenakshi, Ramesh had a couple of hours as well. Vani had a couple of hours. Overall great day as far as our count is concerned.
Now let's welcome the grammarian for today, Toastmaster Dharmesh.
Before I share my report, I would like to share something. Few years back when I was in LNT, I joined LNT, there was an induction program. And there, the inductor, he told us to introduce ourselves by using one adjective. Like, for example, me, my name is Dharmesh, starts for D. So I need to use an adjective from D. That is, say, example, dashing Dharmesh or dedicated. And that was really interesting. This is called a adjective noun connotation. And when you use it, really makes an effect. So you can use this grammar in your speeches and it will make it will be effective. So with that, I will start my report. The word of the day was used by Kalyan Kumar and Sakshi. The phrase of the day was used by again Kalyan Kumar and Vani. Some improper usage of languages, I will just which I will note it down. One question from you, instead of that, it should be one question for you. Pin drop silent, instead of that, it should be pin drop silence. Feel motivating, instead of that, it should be feel motivated. Did happen, instead of that, it should be did happen. And throwed him out, instead of that, it should be threw him out. And some interesting words or phrases which I noted down there. Plethora. Purpose of life is life of purpose. Apprehension. Concentration, which means process of verification. Ardent. Patriotic. Then correct.
It's actually not. It's not a, like I got a few people who came and asked me to meet the grade. FIDE is the chess federation. So if you get the rating, if you're a rated player, it's called FIDE rated. It's not a like a fancy one.
Then Kanika Kitty and Disasters Brigade were the 2 words that I talked about. Recipe of disaster, overshare, arandrus, positive affirmation, overcook the goods, and gate. That's it for voting.
Now let's go with the last aspect of a general evaluation section, and that is evaluation of the entire meeting as a whole. I would like to start with the how the role players have played their role. Our first role player was Sadhana Dams, who was Nisha. She welcomed the audience, read the mission and the instructions clearly. So very well done. Now, one aspect that we can add something creative not a very long thing, but a small creative thing so that we start with bang, we start with energy, not just reading out the script, but we can start add on some creative thing, and it goes for all the role players. So that is one aspect we can add as a when we take the SAR. President Meenakshi, who was a presiding officer, was very energetic on stage and welcomed the guests also very well with her own cheerful self. She had a great theme, a message that was very apt. That is why to renew, and we had a video also playing for that. And she also shared why she renews, and we got to know why she's so. Why she renews, because she's very competitive. And she took names of members as an example, which was encouraging. So thank you. That was a great aspect as presiding officer. Our Toastmaster of the day, Dheeraju, is smiling and waiting for his feedback. A great theme, great, nicely conducted your role. There was great content, simple language so that everyone can understand what you want to say. You had great examples, made your point very clear. You clearly explained the structure to all the members as well as the guests. You made the meeting interesting, and the TMOD has that power to make the meeting interesting, and you did that very well. So kudos to you, a very well conducted session of yours. Few feedback, when you read out names and the title for the previous speeches, go a little slow so that the audience can understand the title as well. I felt you were going very fast. Okay, even that, what was that? You went very fast. So go slow with the title and the name so that even the evaluators who might not have, they can also recollect what the title is. Even with your structure, I feel like you know. If we are going overboard with time, we can manage that. So we are going a little overboard on time, so that we can manage as a PMOD. Keep the look who is talking, but yes, we can manage the content. Okay. Now I'll go with the tag team. Timer Raghav clearly specified the rules. I would like to also appreciate that all the members of the tag team, they took that effort to actually not just read out. They memorized and they were having that eye contact while reading out their script. So that's something very good thing, and we should appreciate. I think Raghav is the first time as a role player. So we should really appreciate the first time he was not reading also. Now, a suggestion as a timer for all the role plays of, like, especially members of the tag team, please add something creative, 1 or 2 lines. You are also getting a chance to come and speak. So use that, give some tips for you as, in terms of time, in terms of grammar, in terms of account, like these crush words, you can add on that. You did it during the end, but I found it was not that relevant. That is my perspective. Okay, so that few things you can manage. And as a timer, when you are showing green card, okay, don't put it low, show it properly near your chest so that the speaker, for them, it is clearly visible. Green, till the time it comes yellow, show it properly. And then yellow, till the time it is red, red. And then when it comes red, show it till the time the speaker is. So that the card should be clearly visible to the speaker. For our counter, again, the script was read properly, the instructions were given properly. As per the report, give the report like for everyone who has come on the stage, from the person who started, like for the stars. You can shorten it a little, but don't completely shorten so that we don't get how many hours we have. You gave for few people, but not for everyone. Or you can even share that later on, I'll share the report. But try to go with that flow of the role players. Okay, it was the instructions were clear. Only one point, that is add some creativity even during the start and make it relevant. Meenakshi as grammarian, very informative, interestingly conducted the grammarian session. Not just gave the tip, but also you encourage through your content that yeah, we should take that grammarian role. I'm not talking about the speakers. The prepared speeches, the evaluators have already shared, but just one highlight. Divya, it was language, great usage of words. For Jinal, voice modulation, that 20%, 24% you were specified, that was great. For Kalyan Kumar, your style of humor, great. And for Sakshi, your natural way of delivering the speech. For evaluators, of course, I'm not going to comment too much on that, but just few things with very positive and encouraging approach. But one, give more feedback, I think, more critical feedback so that it helps the speaker. For Dhwani, summarization. Okay, it was you were very observant and you had various points, but summarization was lacking. For Praveen, positive and critical approach both, but plan your start as well. Start, I feel it should also be more interesting, and timing part. For Sanish, voice and gestures were great, like as a speaker. Only I felt you were a little fast the entire thing. For Meenakshi, great inputs, but I felt it was more critical and less of positive. That might be your approach, but I felt that way. Ron, as in the educational session, very informative. And it was not just informative, I like his style that is very interactive. And getting the answers from us, okay, we also know this, and when we know the answers from others, we get more input. So he made it very informative and very interactive. So it was not just informative, both practical, how we can use it outside, as well as the technical part. So thank you so much, it was a great session. So that is about the role players. Now, few points about the meeting as a whole. The meeting started at 5 dot. So though it is repetitive, but yeah, we should appreciate video of that that we used during the presiding. That was really great. Only I felt was a speaker there, a speaker attached. But I felt it could have been a little louder. It was not that loud. It could have created more impact. Guests, yeah, there were instances where the guests were coming in between the speech that we need to see how we can manage. Feedback slips were given. There, however, few people had not had the slips. However, I would always appreciate Ron, who always take care. Okay, who don't have, and he always remembers and issues the feedback slips. Whoever speaker, whenever we hand over, this is something which Vinay has told me, to not just like don't cross or don't move from in front, just from behind you leave the stage. So that is one thing which Vinay had told me, and I try to remember that and do that. I feel we are not on time, and here I am also adding to that by going overboard, but a little bit. Role players should come before 15 to 20 minutes of the meeting. That doesn't apply to me. Okay. So that is one thing all role players should take care. Finally, it was a fun and interesting meeting. As always, I enjoyed it. It was really like a fun meeting. But what I observed today was that we are so encouraging and supportive. Whoever comes here as an audience, our members from our class always encourage and motivate. So that is really a great thing. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmasters.
General evaluator for the valuable feedback. Just 1 minute, I will be completing the theme of the meeting. So what happens in the pursuit of fulfilling the career goals, family responsibility, we shift the focus from the things that really matters, that really contributes to the happiness. So whenever you are in dilemma, always remember these 4 points that I mentioned in today's meeting. That the first thing that is really important in life is your fitness. Second is money. Yes, it matters. Third is choosing the right partner. Fourth is nurturing and parenting your children in the right way. And fifth, have love for the country and settle in your own country. Thank you. Over to you, presiding officer.
Good evening once again, everyone. How was the meeting? There were a couple of guests who walked in late. So if you could just introduce yourself, your name, what do you do, and how did you come to know about it? And how did you find the meeting?
I understood this role playing kind of pattern that was supported.
Looking forward to
not very sure. I heard of you all who are friends in Goa. So they are in Toastmasters since a long time. I kind of thought I should come, and this is really fabulous. So very interesting to hear you all, and yeah, I plan to join the conference in June because I'm going on the long. It's
Story from your vacation.
Yes.
And the way I want to do what we were setting for the Toastmasters book, and the other Toastmasters closest to me. And what I like was the structure, there's so many members, and it is so structured, and I think it's following that structure. So that is one of the very, what do you say, a normal Indian parties. Though with me coming late, I think everything late, we took to Indian days. But the structure was really, I was very impressed with that. Definitely the attention span of everyone, keeping records of, how the conversation goes and the mistakes and having analysis and having the consistency, it's not about one speaker, but for a series of speakers and their, reviewers. So that was very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Thank you. Libby has shared the poll on our group, and for the guests, there is a QR code which you can just scan. This is for the voting.
Any guests from this side?
While that is happening, just one announcement. Our next meeting will be on next Saturday, that is 6th of April, and that's going to be a regular meeting. Okay. Do you want me to ask? Just check. Yes. So we have a suggestion. We anyway wanted to do an outdoor meeting. We have the permission to do it on the lawn, but we're just concerned about the weather.
It's going to be hot, so how many of you are in for it if it's an outdoor meeting? The boss.
But what time? Same time. Same time.
Yeah, yes.
No, there's no roof.
So what, so can I see hands up, yes, no, it should.
It's outdoor meeting. The meeting is happening, that's for sure.
Meeting is definitely happening.
It's outdoor on the lawn over here.
Outdoor the problem is that you get hot.
And Libby has conveniently forgot to mention one important point.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the grass, we have to sit, not on chairs. Which is with your. He can bring mat and he can bring food from there. Anything else? Drive in Twitter.
The lawn area, I think that's shade, no shade.
There's no shade.
Or something.
No,
No, I tell you, it's going to be hot and
Yeah.
I think it will be able to.
So yes के लिए कितना आता है?
Make some other day.
तू तो आता भी नहीं
क्या I'm sensing it's a no. Yes. 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 Okay, so we can plan something post monsoon maybe at that time.
What if I should it? Where is someone who
Are you calling us to your building?
You have. Next thing.
Attention everyone, two important announcements. First is Toastmaster Sakshi, who's our PPPR. She is going to put in our group. We want to launch a magazine, which we do every year. So any contribution from your side will be more than welcome in terms of articles, poems, drawing, whatever. You can also be part of the designing team or the editing team. So whatever suits your boat, Toastmaster Sakshi will take that.
We have already received 4 names. And if there are any more, we would love to get your names on that form to fill for team members. So first, I had already shared one form for the team members. I'll reshare it today again. And if you feel that you would like to know the team, so be there. It would be a great experience for all of us. And 2, I'll be sharing one more form where you will be actually contributing your content. Yeah. But that would be like first come first basis. So we have to be honest. Thank you.
Can you guys vote, please?
It's not
Everybody's not voting.
Okay, another important announcement, which is actually a little bit of a sad news. You all know Toastmaster Krati. She is the current sergeant at arms for our club. She is decided to relocate to Delhi, and so she will not be continuing and renewing with us. Just yeah. Okay, and I want to acknowledge Toastmaster Nisha, who stepped up and taken up the role of sergeant at arms. She will be kind of the acting sergeant at arms for the next 3 months that we have in our.
Actually, it was the last bit. I was not prepared, but I did.
And also Toastmaster Rohita, he's also decided to step in. Today he was the Zoom master for, let's all acknowledge him. Thank you so much. We will definitely need help from the others as well. So you all saw what the role of a sergeant at arms requires. You need to come in prior to the meeting and set up the infrastructure for the day, for the meeting per se. So any help from your side will be more than welcome. Anything else? Anything? That is the point. What would you call it? Done with the votes?
It's done.
Yeah. We have a new member who's joined us from the month of March, Toastmaster Raghav, please. We will be doing what is called as the installation ceremony. I will be reading out a few lines and you agree, and then I will be reading out for the members, other members as well. Membership in Toastmasters is a privilege, and the only way to gain benefits of the program is to actively participate. Do you, Toastmaster Raghav, promise to attend club meetings regularly and prepare for all your duties with the best of your abilities. Do you members of Agnes Toastmasters Club pledge to support Toastmaster Raghav in his quest for self-development and promise to make his Toastmasters membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience? Yes. Congratulations, you are now informed. Okay, quickly, guesses for the best speaker? Yes. Best auxiliary role player out of the tag. That's it. Okay, best role player between the T-mod and the G. Purpose of life. Best evaluator. Yes. Thank you, and that brings us to the end of. We have somebody who started with her pathway journey today, Toastmaster Divya, please. An icebreaker event. Many more speakers coming. That finally brings us to the end of meeting number 340, and I hope you let the meeting. Let's all assemble for a group picture. Also, I have sent the full form on